Hi everyone. In this session, I would like to introduce you to SailPoint Transforms and Rules. As most of you know, SailPoint is one of the top IAM solutions that are available today. As part of the IAM solution, SailPoint offers lifecycle management and access governance as its main features. When SailPoint is integrated with different sources like HR, JDBC, web, or other type of applications for source of truth, provisioning, or campaigning purposes, it is sometimes required to create transforms or rules to modify the data or to perform certain actions. Transforms. A transform can be as simple as converting a code into a text. A typical structure of the transform is to have an input as a source attribute, a transform is applied on that, and the transform value is the output. I would like to give an example of a lookup transform. An Active Directory source typically stores the user account status in user account control attribute as a code. Now, when we import the Active Directory data into SailPoint, if we want to store the code as a user-friendly text value, we could create a mapping as part of the lookup transform. For example, 512 code can be mapped to an account which is active. So we will create a mapping between 512 and active, which will store that user account status as active on the SailPoint identity attribute. There can be other transforms, simple as substring, lowercase, uppercase, date transforms. And these transforms are typically in the JSON format. Then comes rules. Rules can help to create more complex logic than the transforms. They are written in Java Bean Shell. Two types of rules can be created. A cloud rule that executes in the SailPoint Identity Security Cloud, and a connector rule that executes in the virtual appliance. Um, a type of cloud rule is a correlation rule. An example of a correlation rule is to transform a source email address so that it can be matched to the email address which is stored on the SailPoint identity, which typically comes from the HR application. Suppose, say, a user account on the source has a different domain that can be transformed to take the first part of the source email address and add a different domain to it to make up an email address to match up with the HR email address to correlate the source user account with the SailPoint identity. There are other cloud rules like account profile attribute generator rule or CSV build map rule. For connector rules, a type of connector rule is the JDBC provision rule, which is typically used to make up the source attributes when creating a database user account or when modifying the user access based on the campaign result. So that can be based on the certification result. The example of a JDBC provision rule. There are other connector rules such as SAP build map rule, web services before or after operation rules, and other rules. Hope you like this session. Thank you for watching.